Hey guys, what is going on? It's Fizecs here, and this is part 2 of the much-awaited 5.4 Windy Monk guide. Now, this part of the guide is going to be covering talents and glyphs, what I use, when I use what I use, and why I use what I use. I'll start with the talents. Alright, so T1 of the Monk talent tree, you've got Lust, Momentum, and Celerity. You're always going to go with Tiger's Lust, just 100% of the time, no questions asked. It's completely, I went through it in part 1 of the video with the macros. If you go watch that, you'll understand the scenarios and stuff and why I use Tiger's Lust and why I prefer that over the others. It's just, it gets you out of roots essentially. The other two do not break roots. They just increase your speed a little bit, which is not what we need. We don't have any root breaks aside from Nimble Brew, aside from that, which is just like, that gets you out of stuns and stuff too. So you don't want a Nimble Brew you don't want to waste a 2-minute cooldown to get out of roots, if you can help it. Alright, now the T2 talent tree. Honestly, if you would have asked me a week ago, I would have said Chi Wave 100%. That's what I've been running all expansion, no questions asked. It's always Chi Wave, just static, always Chi Wave. Now, I talked to SSJ the other day, who's also another really good Windy Monk, and he actually uses Chi Waves against some comps. So I never even thought that was viable. I haven't touched it, but he gave me an idea, and I went, I tried it out, and what I gathered from it, from what he told me and what I've seen from my own experience, is that like he said, it's very risk versus reward. What I think he means by that, from what I've seen, is like you pop it at 5-6 stacks of Tiger Eye Brew, you Rising Sun Kick, and then you use Chi, you know, vice versa. And if it crits, it's going to be like 90 to 100k, and it's going to do really good damage. And it can, like, it has the potential to 100 somebody depending on who you're running with, and this is in context of 3s, obviously, sometimes 2s as well. But Rising Sun Kick crit with not even a crit, with Chi Waste, and it crits, that's huge damage, huge output, potential to kill. But if it doesn't crit, I feel like Chi Wave is just the way to go, because it's going to put out more than 50k damage easily. So, very, you know, preference. Chi Wave to be safe, Chi Waves if you're very min-maxy and want to gamble the dice a little bit. T3, you have Chi Brew and Ascension are the two things you're going to choose between. Power Strikes just hasn't been good since PvE in 5.0, so it's just not a thing. Now, I used to run Ascension. I used to be very against Chi Brew. They hotfixed and patched up Chi Brew, and yeah, it's just Chi Brew is better, because, in my opinion, because like if you mastery procs with it, then you can get 6-7 stacks right out of the gate, pop them, and go straight for a kill. Even if you don't land the kill, they're playing so defensively the rest of the game. It pretty much it puts you at a huge advantage. Ascension just lets you upkeep. Essentially, the only time I would even use Ascension from now on is sometimes when I'm doing 1v2s and I need a lot of self heals. Moving on, Ring of Peace, Charging Oxwave, Leg Sweep. Generally, I would just say Ring of Peace and Leg Sweep. Charging Oxwave if you're feeling a little adventurous. Generally, if there's someone right in front of me and there's like a guy behind him, and he's gonna CC somebody like Polymorph if he's trying to cast a big spell like Chaos Bolt or something, you know, I'll put it on my abilities real quick. I can just boom, and it hits both of them, it stuns them. I can stun the whole team, even if they spread out that way. I like it. It's useful in against some comps in 3s. If you're in 2s and most 3s comps, I would just run Leg Sweep or Ring of Peace depending on the comp. Generally, if it's double casting DPS, you want to run Ring of Peace. Especially if it's a mage, because a mage can just blink out a Leg Sweep. It's no problem. Moving on, T5, always take Healing Elixirs. A lot of people don't like that. They say take Diffuse Magic against magic teams, always Healing Elixirs. That's just what I do. I prefer it so much above Diffuse Magic. I don't even touch Diffuse Magic. That's my personal preference. If you don't want to run that, that's fine. This is just what I do. Alright. Now, T6, this is a debatable one. There's a lot of friction between rushing Jadewen and Zuen and which one is better and which one isn't, and I have my own opinion on that, and I'll tell you that right now. Now, I use Zuen predominantly in 2s. Pretty much always in 2s I'll use Zuen. 1v2s and 2s of Zuen. Now, 1v3s, 3s, and 5s, it's generally rushing Jade win. The only time I use Zuen, and I'll speak predominantly in 3s, the only time I use Zuen in 3s is like comps where I'm going to be rooted and CC'd a lot. Because if I'm going to be rooted and CC'd 90% of the time, Zuen's going to far outclass the damage and utility that rushing Jade win would have. Because if I'm not going to have good uptime on my target, then there's no reason to run an ability that's completely useless if they're going to keep me rooted and slowed far on the other side of the map. Whereas Zuen can sit on them, and Zuen actually does more damage over his full duration than Rushing Jade Wind will do in the same amount of time. Rushing Jade Wind just has a lot of concentrated damage to pump out damage fast and try to land a kill. I'll pressure them into playing defensive. That's pretty much it for the talents. Now, Glyph-wise, Glyphs are they're pretty static, to be honest. The only real minor Glyph that matters is Glyph of Blackout Kick. It always deals 20% more damage. You don't need to be behind people anymore to get the damage dot off of it. It's just a little damage boost. It's not make or break. It's just preference. That's what I do to put out a little bit more pressure. That's preference. Moving on, Touch of Death. I really like that. A lot of times you're not gonna have 3 chi to land a Touch of Death. I would say Glyph of Touch of Death is a must. Now you have Glyph of Touch of Karma. This one is 100% must. You can't run without this. Meleeing with Touch is just, it's not gonna happen. The 20 yard range is, it should be baseline for the skill, honestly. But you cannot run without this Glyph. It is 100% needed, in my opinion, no matter what PvP bracket you're playing in, even rated battlegrounds. Now, this last slot is where you open up and just experiment. Generally, it's going to be Paralysis, depending on your team. If you're playing with an Affliction lock, since that's one of my best comps, you pretty much always want to run Paralysis, because obviously a ton of dots. Because if you're not, it's just there's no reason even trying to CC with Paralysis. It's gonna break half a second later, obviously. If you're running KFG, which is other only good comp, really, excuse me, I would take it in that comp as well, because Serpent Sting from the Hunt is going to break your CC. That aside, I've actually been playing with the Destro lock Decay lately, and dots ain't really that big of a thing. So we go up against a like DK comp, like TSG, stuff like that. I can actually replace Detox with that, and then just keep detoxing on cooldown my teammates if there's no Hunt, obviously, to Whiff Sting, because you can dispel with Whipping Sting. Just keep Detox on cooldown, dispelling teammates, keeping the DK's dots off of them, which also helps their pressure, and it'll also heal you for 5% of your health, which can help your heals a little bit, you know. Sparring is another one that you want to take a lot. When you're using Fist of Fury, you can actually use Fist of Fury defensively if you do this. Just Fist of Fury, it's fantastic. Sparring, essentially, it lets you reflect spells. It's all right. This is a Glyph that I was talking about a few seconds ago. Glyph of Fist of Fury. You have 100% parry chance when you're using Fist. This is really good defensively to use Fist defensively. Glyph of Sparring. You get Sparring stacks. You have, 3 stacks of Sparring, 15% chance to deflect spells from cast in front of you. It's alright. It's actually really, really difficult to notice when this actually takes effect, so it's hard to gauge on the usefulness of it, though a lot of top 2 monks, we do run it sometimes, depending on the comp, if it's generally double cast, obviously. I have never seen it reflect CC, like polymorph and stuff like that. Just simply, it's an iffy, gimmicky type Glyph, but it can help. This is just my opinion. I haven't had a lot of experience with Sparring. That's just, that's my opinion. And now this is the only other Glyph that I would run, and this is like triple DPS. This is against comps that are gonna try to pump out a lot of damage and kill you right in the open. Beast Cleave, stuff like that. Fortuitous Spheres, because if they go on you, essentially monks are really squishy. A lot of you guys that don't know that, we can get away and we have good self heals, but like we have Touch of Karma, and once that's gone, we don't really have any defensives. We have Wall. It's like every other Wall in the game, except not as good. So we're just really easy to focus down. Hush, hush, don't tell your friends, because I like not being focused in arena because they think we'll just not die, but that's actually the complete opposite of the truth. But yeah, this will save your life plenty if you get focused. If this team's going to be pumping out a lot of damage, and if they go you, if there's potential they're going to switch to you, or even try to focus you, take this. If you're getting tunneled, this will save your life 100%. This, and you being used simultaneously with healing elixirs, can top you like 50% health. 50% health from almost being dead pretty much instantly. That's really good. And that mixed with your self heals, even if your heals is CC in the back, that mixed with your self heals can get you topped off. Anyway, that's pretty much all the glyphs and all the talents that I use. If you have any questions, as always, put them below in the comments, and I'll go over them in as much depth as I can. I probably missed some stuff. I'm just trying to rush this video out because I have to get a shower so I can stream here in a few minutes. All that aside, I don't know if this video will be up today, which is Sunday or Monday, but whatever it is, I should also have, if it comes out tomorrow, I should also have the reforging guide out tomorrow and gymming and showing you guys the hybrid build that I have. Anyway, that's it. Thanks for watching. See you guys on the stream. Oof. See you in part 3 of the Windy Monk patch 5.4 Monk guide.